Hey, will you get us started?
Unless you want to mix it around, Sin, where I get us started and then you somehow add that conversation in. More work for you, right?
Did you finish your Gambit?
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 126 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where Sin asks questions right before we start. And we also talk about our love of the game. Anyways, how you doing, Sin? How you doing, Des?
Well, Raven.
Did you have a question for me?
I know, right? Like, we're all like you set it up, Sin. Come on.
No. It's I knew you were gonna lead into something because you always talk about how I like to bring stuff up before the podcast. We should talk about it on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And I know you and I were grouping up a little bit for Gambit beforehand. I'm still in Iron Banner. It'll be my last match for it to get my seasonal challenge. But did you finish your last one for your Gambit seasonal challenge?
I did not. So in reference to this, before, maybe an hour or so ago, Sin and I were running some Gambit. Primarily my reason was for the weekly seasonal challenges, which I am all gung-ho again this season, getting every single one done within a week. Well, as I can. We knew the one was bugged last week, but I digress, quickly. Last season, 2 seasons ago, I did that. Last season, I took my time. But yeah, I just have another Gambit match or so done. And then I will be done with all my weekly challenges.
Nice.
I even hopped in Iron Banner enough. It didn't seem like I had to do too many matches. I did half one with Muffin and someone else. You were, I think, in there a little bit, Sin. It was like one day, I think.
During the day. Yeah, I should have been working.
We've been doing lots of stuff during the day with crews here and there. But how are you on your weekly challenges, Sin? Since that's the discussion right now.
I am almost done. I am one match away from Iron Banner. Then I just need to do one. Oh man, here it goes with the brain malfunction during the actual podcast. One of the seasonal activities, 6-man match-made activity.
Yeah, that's called
Astral Alignment.
Yep,
Astral Alignment. I need to do one more of those, focus one more Engram, and then I need to do Taken and Strikes. So I'm almost there. It'll be quick. It'll probably happen before we're done the podcast.
Right on. And the Taken and Strikes is, of course, easy. You just load up the one on the EDZ, the Lake of Shadows. You can get it done in 2, but I got like 49% each time, and then I had to do
part of one.
Yeah. Yes, I did leave, but I didn't feel bad because other people were doing that. Every single strike I was in also, with people like leaving halfway and people joining and whatnot.
Yeah, it seems like I like to call it that time of year.
That time of year. Well, every week there's something like that. Almost, what was it last week? The strike was Scorn. The kills we needed for the weekly challenge, so you were just loading up the one on the Tangled Shore. And, that was the most efficient way to do it.
I did the Lost Sector.
Nightfall, yes. That is a good way to do it. Because it was that one, yes.
Exactly.
I did that once first.
What's the Nightfall? Actually, the Nightfall is, again, Lake of Shadows. So
it is.
That's probably how I'll do that. So I've noticed they tend to do this. Like, if you get on the seasonal challenges week of, like, kill blank enemy in strikes tends to be that week's Nightfall.
That makes sense. I mean, obviously the Iron Banner thing's lining up too. I mean, that would have to line up. They're not going to tell you. Yeah. And if you
come
don't
on.
finish it, you just got to do it the next time it rolls around.
Nice.
Which, by the way, what was the thing that was going to change upcoming with? Were we not going to have trials when it's an Iron Banner week or something like that?
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, we were going to have trials anyways, but yeah, that will be the new rule.
Yeah, while Banner is up, Trials is down, because they only want one special PvP event.
That makes sense. I think that's probably changed for the better.
It will help. It's one of those things that definitely will help the overall population, especially the lower end population of Trials. Because, I mean, let's face it, like most of the casual PvP people, if it's a choice between Trials or Banner, most of the lower end individuals are going to play Banner. And then when they get their new Flawless swag, the tryhards will then start playing Banner so they can stomp everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's always fun.
Des, have you done much with the seasonal challenges or Iron Banner this week?
I have 3 seasonal challenges left to go. You have to pardon me. I mentioned a little bit beforecast. I'm recovering again. I hate it, but it's okay because I got through doses of Mucinex. I'm on the up and up. I sound awful. I still have a cough. It's all breaking up though, so I'm on like the uphill trend essentially, I guess. Even though that sounds bad, but downhill trend. Anywho, there's no good.
You
whatever.
Sound fine. You can't tell. So,
I sound stuffy to me, so.
Gotcha.
But I am missing 3 of the seasonal challenges: Gambit, Legend Lost Sector, and Taken. So yeah. I've played some Banner.
Are any thoughts about that?
Yeah, still Banner.
I don't really have any, but
I mean, I've just been jumping into freelance. Yeah, matchmaking is still a little quicker now that crossplay is a thing. I'm definitely noticing mixed console lobbies. Like I'm seeing a lot of like PlayStation and Xbox mixed lobbies. Like it's almost half and half of that, which is kind of cool. Like when I'm paying attention, that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like really cool, really interesting.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I feel like because when we talk about crossplay, it's usually we're wanting to purposely group up with other people, right? But I keep forgetting that. Oh yeah, the auto matchmaking is just bringing it in also, and I assume it's all working great. I mean, I haven't been noticing any problems, but yeah, I even forget to look like, oh yeah, do we have Xbox people joining us? Or the other day, I think I was playing on PC. I don't know if Sin was on PC, but someone joined me, and I think it was Muffin. But I told them, I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm on PC right now, so we're going to get the whole crew. I didn't really care. They didn't care either. But those little things I tend to forget that, oh yeah, crossplay is fully live and all the auto matchmaking also. And it seems like it's working.
Indeed. Consider I freelance Iron Banner often. I've only had one instance of stalled matchmaking where you sit on 10 or 11 forever. Then it goes to 12. Then someone backs out, so just before you start, you end up blacking out and then going right back to the queuing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, this only happened once through the night, so definitely improvements.
Nice. And then you also mentioned the Legend Lost Sector. I got that one done today. It's the really easy one on Europa today, where at the top of the map, the one where you go in and you have the little frames that'll help shoot with you.
Yeah.
Super easy. So if anyone hasn't gotten that done yet and are listening in the live chat, welcome everyone, by the way. Feel free and get that one done. I mean, I do want to talk about builds tonight too, and let me tell you, I decided to do the solar melee stun for Overload, And it works pretty well, at least in the lost sectors, because with the solar top tree warlock, you have the fire bolts that come out a little bit. So I would melee the champion at a safe distance, and then hit him with my linear fusion, 2 or 3 shots, boom.
Yeah,
Done.
Thermoclastic Strike. I guess that's kind of one reason. Also, I haven't quite finished all my challenges because I've been kind of pulling a gator and chasing bounties super hard to make my way to that particle deconstruction gem of the season.
Yeah.
But I will say, yeah, Thermoclastic Strike is like definitely my number 2 favorite mod this season. Like it is
you
just
can do stasis also. Which one are you trying? Are you trying stasis or solar?
Solar, because I'm pairing it with Withering Heat, which is a nasty combo. But again, yeah, Thermoclastic, your solar or stasis melee will stun an overload champion. But that's not all. But wait, there's more.
Do tell.
All right. Built into Thermoclastic Strike, which is, like I said, this is insane because this normally is a 2-mod combo. But once you stun an overload champion, you get melee energy back.
Yes.
So you use your melee to stun an overload champion, and if you stun an overload champion, you just get another melee all in one mod. So this is like just really good.
It is. And what's beautiful about that, thanks for mentioning, because I did notice once that I did not take down one of the overloads all the way before he came back to his ability. But I'm like, I already have a melee back, so I just stunned him again. Right. Super easy. And
the other part of that combo, Withering Heat, which is causing damage with a solar ability, weakens champions for a short duration.
Now, this one's expensive, though, 6. I don't have room for it anywhere in my builds right now. But you suggest it?
I was actually, basically, because we ran Vault. Sin was part of that one. And some other people. I don't think Ninja was there. Anyway, kind of, sort of, it was a little bit of a mixed match. Oh, yeah, Kato was there. Anyway, no, so I was actually or at least the plan is, I'm actually going to have to start flip-flopping between cloaks. Because I do have my one cloak that has the combo on it. And then once I get particle deconstruction, that's going to be my other cloak.
Yeah.
Because thankfully, as we mentioned in Vault, the good thing about Vault, or at least on normal mode, you either deal with champions or bosses, never both. So, at least for Vault, as long as you have 2 Masterword class items, you're good to go.
Exactly, yeah. I'm flipping between a exotic chess piece right now, except for when I need to do Lunafaction boots with a rift or well. But in the other time I'll be flipping, I've been doing more with builds this season, believe it or not. I usually don't like getting into the builds as much, but I have things planned out. Some people are saying things in the chat. But also my arms I'm going to have to flip, but I'll probably just flip mods. Maybe I'll do another arms. But the one thing I can't fit in with my general build is Unstoppable Fusion. So I'll have to swap, because that's an expensive one too. So I'll have to swap some stuff when I need to bring in Unstoppable Fusion to get that one going, which is also beautiful. I ran that a few times in where is it, in Astral Alignment? Yeah, there's Unstoppable.
Astral. Yep.
Yeah.
And holy moly, one shot from the fusion, and then they melt quickly anyways if you have all the other stuff, including what a lot of people have been chasing, of course. I got on Tuesday night, particle deconstruction.
Yeah.
It is nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is.
And, of course, some people already have it. They're saying, come on, plebs. But I was fine. I mean, come on, second week, that is not bad at all. I'm not upset. I didn't get it the first week, so I don't regret not stacking bounties. But it is fun, though, let me tell you. It's just melting like it should be between using Vex Mythoclast or a linear fusion or whatever you want to run. It's just crazy.
Yeah, we actually only We only had 3 when we were running Vault. But my god, once we actually... we had 1 false start on Templar. But after that, I mean... he stood no chance. And it's weird because, again, when it's like the start of the season, like mod setups definitely aren't like there, and like gear setups aren't there yet, because the seasonal shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was some of the fastest we had taken down Templar with just a horde of sleepers or 1Ks and just 3 of those mods. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun this season. I'm kind of glad this is a longer season because I like fusion stuff. It'll be a little sad to see it go next. And then again with the buff of Vex this season too, it's crazy how that weapon I didn't even really care so much about last season. All of a sudden, it's just moved up so much in my ranking. I haven't even pulled out Telesto for a long time.
I was getting ready to say, hey, you haven't mentioned Telesto in quite some time.
If there's a Grandmaster or some Striker raid where there's a lot of Void, I'll still consider it, but it's not really needed right now for my play style. So
come on.
I mean, you got No Composure too, and that's Void, and there's just so many options, good things. So
Indeed. And speaking of X, I'd have to severely apologize. Because I think mentioning its buffs, someone mentioned taking it into PvP, and I'd still give it a hard no. It's actually not that bad. Even without the catalyst, it's actually not awful.
I tried, and I did not do very well with it. So I need to practice more, I suppose. But then I switched to Messenger. I'm like, no, this is way better than Vex.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's definitely still better things, but
it's somewhat usable. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, and considering the catalyst now has been reworked to give it bonus damage on stacks, I mean, it could actually. I can see it actually doing good. It would definitely be a weapon that needs to be ramped up. But yeah, I can see it doing some pretty awful things to people.
I was just trying to use it way too far away, and it wasn't as stable at the super long distances. And that was my problem. But there's so many things that even when I've been in PvP, anyone who knows me, I don't really enjoy super much. But there's a lot of weapons I'm actually looking forward to trying out. I need to try all my different fusions some more to see which ones match with the changes. I tried Null Composure some, and I wasn't used to it. I wasn't feeling it yet, so I need more practice with it. But that may not be the best option. I just need to practice with a bunch and see what works for me on the fusion side. Aren't the rapid fires kind of the what people are saying are the good ones to go for in Crucible right now?
I was about to say, I don't know the consensus, but I actually did pull out Null Composure a bit in Iron Banner and was finding some surprisingly consistent kills all of a sudden. So I think those 2 extra bolts are actually doing a lot of good, which is nice. I mean, actually, I was even able to do the classic fusion rifle thing and stop a shotgunner dead in his tracks, which always feels good to do.
Yeah.
See a guy rushing at you, it's like, oh, boom, dead. Try again next time, buddy. Yeah, it's fantastic. But I wasn't sure if that was just me or not. I know, right?
AKA Season of the Coop. We have Tony in the chat wants to call it that. Shout out to that. See, we had Nullsy Composure, and now we can be Season of the Coop. It was just a misspell. Anyways, see, you too need to be joining our live chat while we're recording, so you can be in on these conversations in the background.
Yep.
The chat room.
Tony mentioned he said I need to contribute to the conversation. I did. I changed his name. He mentioned he's here to disrupt stream and or misspell shit and chew bubblegum, and he's all out of bubblegum. That's a quote actually from Duke Nukem. So I changed his name to Tony Death Nukem.
Actually, that quote comes from They Live.
I don't know that. I know Duke Nukem, and that's what I'll take.
Which is really sad because it was They Live, right? They Live?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Movie?
I don't know that. No clue.
Roddy Piper? Yeah.
Nope.
No, it actually starred Roddy Piper. It was a alien invasion flick. And it's kind of like a body snatchers type situation. So he gets a hold of these special sunglasses that can, of course, spot these aliens in their human disguises. And he walks into a bank and delivers said line. I'm here to do two things. To kick ass and chew bubblegum. I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yeah,
And start shooting people.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
The fun fact of the night from Des.
That's what happens when you have a wrestling fan on.
Oh, yeah. And Cartesian coordinate is another suggestion by Helios in the chat. Nosy Composure, yeah, I think I just need to, because I've been hearing rapid fires, so I think I just need more practice with them. Because typically in the past, I was more like a, what was the one that was really good for a long time?
High impact.
Super long distances.
No, that was either...
That wasn't high impact, though, was it?
It was either high impact or precisions. I want to say, because main ingredient...
No.
Aerentel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think that was precision, wasn't it?
I think that was precision, but either way, the key to that one was getting it with accelerated coils.
Yeah.
Since we're on the pathway of these fusions, have you all tried the Draconis, Iota Draconis, the high impact?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I just didn't really have a need for it.
I'm unenthused.
Well, is it because of the slow charge, which we knew they were changing to?
Or? I mean,
it's a giant charge time. One second.
It feels like it hits hard when it does hit, but it does not feel as good as the Null Composure or that style of fusion. So I've been going back to Null Composure and just moving it back and forth.
Yeah, but
so you prefer
special perks. So
yeah, you prefer to use the fusions that operate somewhat similarly to shotguns, then.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, there's no shame in that. It's just, what they're I mean, that's exactly what they said in their changes in that TWAB was the fact that they were letting high impacts really fill that role of predictive charging. Because that's the only way you're really going to find high success with a high impact in PvP right now is with predictive charging, because almost everything that people use kill in under a second. 120s kill in 1 second. So, yeah.
Yeah, but we're getting some comments, with the IOTA and the hollow words and people enjoying that. I don't mind the slow charge time if I can just try to predictively, charge it and be good at hitting my shots coming around corner. I would almost prefer having the range if I can make it work.
Actually, I think
faster
hollow
firing.
words is also precision.
I thought hollow words was. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I think I have one in my. Oh, it is precision. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did I think that was? Because it was such hard hitting. I felt like.
That's actually what I use for Atrax encounter, because I have a hollow words with Vorpal that I use for the servitors.
Yeah, I have a hollow words with Vorpal. Maybe that's just why I. Well, there's so many I could try. I mean, in PvE also. And what about the new weapons? Any standouts for anyone or that we've gotten so far? I haven't hardly tried out any of that. I've done the shotgun a little bit. I got a full auto opening shot on it, but I want a better roll. But since I've been doing so many fusion things, I'm just kind of pairing a shotgun in the primary slot for PvE stuff.
The Fractithist.
Yeah, the Fractithist.
It's all right.
Whatever the crap that is. I have one I've been meaning to try out, but again, it's not a high impact, so it's not highly advisable in a PvP environment. But I have one full auto and Adagio, so I can't wait to see how that turns out.
Mm-hmm.
I have not found success with getting Adagio to proc in PvP, though. So, yeah.
And we were talking, I think this was pre-show also, Adagio as a perk. It's a new one. And, of course, it means slowing things down and hitting harder. And it comes from the music term. It's a music term because I'm a music geek. I did band and choir in high school. And sure enough, same thing. It means to slow down in music. So,
because you also... Oh, wow, there are actually so many musical terms in the perks this season. I just realized because you have Encore.
Yep.
That's
Ensemble.
a new perk. Ensemble, Harmony.
Does this all match with Savathun's song? Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah,
random?
this is...
That's intriguing. That's an intriguing thought.
The thing is, though, at least if Destiny is still run how it used to be ran, these two things were done by two different teams.
Yeah.
Because at least the way Destiny was run, they would come up with a weapon or perk and how it works, and then the wording and the name of that perk is decided by, I think, like the lore team or whatever. But yeah, they had like a separate team to like name things and keep things in order. So yeah.
I love all the comments in the chat. Forte, that would be a great perk. Oh,
Just
man.
straight piano perk.
Right.
And there's the hand cannon. I don't know that I love it. I haven't tried it too much. The
I've gotten killed by that in PvP quite a lot.
Vulpecula?
It can also
Vulpecula? I don't think it's Vulpecula, but maybe.
Oh,
actually have one of those.
Pronunciation.
Whatever. I don't even try with these things. They went. They showed themselves with these names for the weapons. But I have one of those with Encore Ensemble. The one where precision kills give you range.
Which musical term?
Right. Yeah, precision kills give you range, like a stacking range, or non-precision kills remove the range buff, and if you don't have a range buff, it gives you a stability buff. Which is a really weird perk, but like I said, it has that and Adagio, which, my God, you can tell in PvE when Adagio like really starts to go, because this little thing turns into a monster. And it is glorious.
Nice.
And then what's the auto rifle? I haven't really messed with that much because I have too many other things going on in my secondary spot. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Let's see here.
Chrysora Mellow.
There you go.
Mellow, yeah. A solar auto rifle.
It's a little slower firing, but it's not bad.
Yeah,
high impact.
It's a 360. Yeah. They still feel pretty great, and I mean, they actually shouldn't be that awful, because not that long ago they had a buff. So they function very similarly to 600s in PvP. But I mean, they have the same time to kill in PvP as 600s, but they need more precision kills. So at that point in time, why not just use a 600? Because
or
it's
Vex.
easier to use.
Or
Vex, or super preferably a rapid fire auto rifle, because those are still amazeballs. Or the king of all auto rifles, Suros.
Well, it's been a hot minute since I played with that.
It shouldn't. I mean, that thing it's always amazing. Well, I mean, except for that really long stretch in D1 where they killed it for like 2 years. But anyhow.
Hey, have I not even gotten the bow yet? I feel like I haven't. Is this only later in the season pass?
Draw? Nope.
Oh, I've gotten a few of those.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I have not tried it though, because bows are not my forte. Hey.
I tried it.
I think I have one of those with Adagio too, actually.
I think
So I just haven't tried
we were talking about that earlier. Actually, I was trying to question which role would probably be better, but the one I used in the I used it in the law sector for the champions, and it's great for that. It's very, after using brain malfunction again, the other one, the exotic one, Trinity Goal. After using that during the raids for using during overload fights, that is a ad clearing monster, and this is it's uneventful with this as far as ad clearing is concerned. I was taking a lot of times it was two-shotting ads instead of one-shotting. So, not bad overall, though, if you're just looking for a quick overload champion mod.
Yes, and I do have one with Archer's Tempo and Adagio as well. Hey, Tempo. Hey, actually, they already have a Tempo in there. Anyway, but yeah.
So, because Archer's Tempo reduces the draw time, so how does that work with Adagio?
They cancel each other out and then get better damage, I guess. That's what I gathered from it.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the curious thing, because basically Archer's Tempo, there's like a hard limit of how fast bows can actually draw. And Archer's Tempo can hit that cap, and it's also dependent upon... Yeah, there's basically like a range. But once you hit that hard cap, you can't draw any faster than that. So, in theory, Adagio can actually help you extend out more of that perk to where essentially it would cancel each other out, but technically you're getting more out of Archer's Tempo that way. In theory.
Yeah. All right. Whoa. As I drop my controller. And then the last one, which I do like, is the Canis Major, the solar grenade launcher, because I already have a roll with chain reaction on it. So
nice.
I'm having fun with that.
And that one, for astrology nerds, translates to big dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense for the first part. I have an ensemble chain reaction, but...
Jesus, what is with this ensemble Adagio on a Canis Major? I'm just getting like Adagio on almost everything. Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stuck with the theme. I give them that.
Oh, wait, that means I can actually look and see what ensemble does, and see if that's the one with the range and stability weirdness to it. Because
when people are around you, allies.
Oh, okay. So it is Encore that does the range stability thing. Gotcha. I don't know how I feel about ensemble.
Again, because an ensemble is a group of people in the musical world.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I can see it having incredible benefit because it's reload speed too, right? Think it's changed?
Yes, reload speed and handling.
Yeah. It seems like they also made that to pair with firing line.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, this season doesn't have a linear though. So, or a sniper, or pretty much anything that can roll with firing line. So, what the crap, Bungie? You're gonna make like the perfect companion to firing line, and not have any weapon to take advantage of it. For shame. Ooh, good point, Helios. Charles does have a linear. That's right, because that linear... Yeah, but I don't think it can roll with ensemble, sorry. Side tangent.
We still got a couple of weeks for that?
Couple weeks for what? Oh, yeah, Charles, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, September or something. I mean, I know we're in September now, but I want to say like 13th, 14th, whatever the next... You can look at the calendar here, but whatever the next date is, so...
And Peace Bond, have you all tried that?
The 10th and 11th, I don't know.
I haven't tried it because it's a sidearm.
Peace Bond?
Peace Bond.
Peace Bond. It's a burst fire sidearm.
Wait, it's burst fire?
Yes.
2 or 3?
3.
Nice. I'm gonna have to try that immediately then.
Yeah, when I heard that, I got one to drop, and I've tried it out a little bit in Gambit earlier, and it's nice. It works really well.
See. Okay, yeah, because I didn't read it. Yep, 3-round burst. Jeez, hey, I'm using it. I don't like normal sidearms. But you give me an aggressive burst, an adaptive that's a burst fire, or a rapid fire, and I'm good to go. Or a normal one that has full auto, but
Right. Yeah, the full auto ones feel pretty good too.
Yeah, but no, I absolutely, because hint hint wink wink, 3-round burst sidearms are the best TTKs in PvP, like just hands down, and like some of the best like small time DPS basically in PvE as well. Like they can put out some burst damage like nobody's business, but you don't want to use it on like a boss or anything. It's mostly for like yellow bars, maybe champions.
Yeah,
maybe.
But
definitely no. You're not taking down Tanics with a bunch of 3-round burst fire sidearms. Someone's probably already tried.
Now, I did switch off of it to finish off the Traveler's Chosen Catalyst because I'm close to getting that done.
Yeah, I'm at 80%.
I'm using it to kill the Taken in the Strike.
Yeah, I've been using it a bunch of PvE too. Well, that and it's the Unstoppable mod. The cheap one is sidearm anyway, so yeah, running Astral Alignment and crap like that, I just throw on the Traveler's Chosen. Spam the crap out of that trigger.
Right.
Hey, another thing I definitely wanted to bring up tonight. Your post, well, not your post, Des, but the thing from Reddit, because I think this is super important for people to know. One of the best ways you can double up on perks that you want for armor.
Yes.
So please let the people know, because I'm sure not everyone's clicking on that link.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, because the player base has found the cheese. But apparently a good way to get 2 stat spike armors is the Umbral Engrams. Essentially, I think because the post in particular mentions essentially grinding out all of your expunged, like to get the year 3 weekly expunged on all characters, to build up a crap ton of that seasonal currency, and then use that to decrypt stat-specific armors. But before you start decrypting these armors, you put on a ghost mod that guarantees you certain number of stat thing in a specific stat. And I did read one thing where it apparently wasn't working for someone, and I didn't see a resolution to that. So it may or may not work consistently. I don't know. I haven't tried it myself. But apparently by doing that, you can get armor with stat spikes in the 2 stats you want.
Yeah. They gave the perfect example. You could go for recovery and intellect with high stat spikes.
Yep, which is usually the advised to go to, because those are the 2 most expensive mods. Right? Yeah, recovery and intellect are like the 2 most expensive mods. So having
and
high stat
to have anyways. So
exactly. But yeah, so yeah, getting high stat numbers in those 2 spots, you're pretty much free to mod out the rest of your stats as you will. So yeah, so there's a bit of advice and a little bit of cheese. No telling if it might get some kind of fixed or not. I don't know. I would kind of hope that Bungie could have potentially foreseen this and is just letting it slide, because that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah,
Because you still have to play the game to get the
Exactly.
currency to
still got
decrypt
to
the
put in
things.
some work. And
Exactly.
you're not necessarily going to get a super spike with the ghost mod. I think it's at least 10, but you're still not going to get like a super spike every time.
Exactly. Like it guarantees a 10 in the stat, and it will weigh it more toward any further growth into that stat. So you're likely to get 2 stat spikes, but yeah, it's still not 100% guarantee. But still, like a stat spike with like a 20 and a 10, or a couple 10s, is still pretty good.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story is at least everyone should at least be doing these new ghost mods. I hadn't yet because I was wanting the super high XP one that gives you an extra 12%, and then the Glimmer one because I figured at the beginning of the season I was going to be needing a lot of XP and going through Glimmer fast. But now that I got my particle deconstruction, I don't care about how fast I go through XP the whole rest of the season. So now I'm going to be putting on recovery for my ghost mod and seeing how those drop. Maybe I'll do it. Like I'll play around with it.
Nice. Unless you plan on grinding out GMs, that would be the only reason you'd want to keep up with the XP.
I mean,
but it's a long season. I don't know.
No. These seasons are definitely the easiest. Will be the easiest to get the GMs going because again, it's a super long season. I mean, I think I took like a month or 2 month and a half off in arrivals, and still had like almost 300 season level. Which, yes, I know the Larry can do 1,000 in a normal season. Well, I'm not Larry. Still hats off to making it freaking 1,000 in a normal season, you mad lad.
That's intense. Geez. Do you think we can talk him into 2?
No, I wouldn't.
No, he's not.
Like, hats off.
He's at 92 as of this recording.
Jeez, it's like
still going hard, but
almost triple my level.
What are you at? I'm at personally 39 right now.
Helios, wait, wasn't Helios our intern last time, or was that Mo? Actually, it might have been Helios. Helios has found the gun with ensemble and firing line, and that is the Long Walk Sniper, which is the Trials of the Nine Sniper, which is currently in the Prophecy Dungeon. So getting to hunting.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Good job, Helios.
So I was grinding that the other night with Gator. He really wanted some good rolls on the pulse rifle. I was getting a little bored because, I was willing to help out. And yes, it's not like I don't want these weapons at all, but I'm like, okay, let's go for another roll. Another one. Because, the benefit, I do have to give him props for this is, yeah, you'll only get the one pinnacle, but you can continue to do the boss, just have a checkpoint. And you'll potentially just get a roll because you'll still get the chest, which I don't know. Maybe more things should be like that potentially, or maybe have like a skeleton key system again. Where you can get some guaranteed roll of something. I mean, we kind of have that with the recaster, but I don't know. It's just more work.
Sort of. I mean, or maybe it'd be cool if we had like a spoils for dungeons.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a really great like mechanic in raids. You run enough raids, you get a crap ton of spoils, and you can use them to like hunt down rolls as long as you've already had the weapon or armor drop. I really love that system.
And speaking of dungeons, and so many people have been talking lately, and I have a different opinion, but about how if Crota comes back, it should be a dungeon. I think it should still be a raid. But, well, yeah, did you want to say anything about that first?
There's a lot of debate there.
Raid versus dungeon.
In one of the Discords.
See, just real quick, I mean, okay, they're like, yeah, because it was so easy and everything, but like Crota, I felt like was in his best form at the end, not at the beginning, where you had to run it as a raid. You needed 5 people to cross the bridge. 390 mode was fun, blah, blah, blah. So I prefer it as a raid where you need people versus soloing it and, quote, being a dungeon. But I digress. There is and this could be, it's not really a spoiler other than it removes one possibility. This was an official interview from Justin at Bungie and I forget who else. And they're asking any hints to what one of the returning raids will be. And he said, well, we want it to be one of the epic ones, so you can guess that'll disqualify one of them.
Yeah.
So not that we thought it would have been that as a raid, but at least we know for sure it's either going to be Kingsfall or Wrath of the Machine.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's the fact that, because that was a Joe Blackburn interview. I just didn't hear the name. I have a lot of noise going on. I'm trying to figure out what's getting destroyed. Anyhow, but the fact that it's like, it's going to be a bigger one, so, it kind of rolls one out, and it's just like, ooh, poor Crota.
I mean, I guess it still could come the year after, or I guess they could bring it in as a dungeon. But I hope they don't. I'd rather get 2 new dungeons than...
It would still be a raid. Because, I mean, Crota was the blueprint for all of the raid layers. That, and I actually could not imagine. They would really have to dumb it down. Especially after the 390 changes. I feel like they would really have to kind of dumb it down to be a 3-man activity.
Yeah, right? They really
at least
would.
Be a fun 3-man activity.
And with 3-man activities, dungeons, they need to be available to be done solo too, for people that want to do really good. I mean, they're meant to be run as 3, but you can run it as 1. So they'd really have to dumb it down to no mechanics that would require 3 people. Maybe a lot of hard adds, but
you're right, because even it might have been easy, but Crota was a bit too complex of a boss for a dungeon, I believe. Because you had to have the teamwork to coordinated fire to take them down, and then you had to have the sword bearer run in and potentially protect the sword bearer from adds. And I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like it would need to be dumbed down to be a dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, I know people were soloing Crota back then, but still, it's like I just don't. I think I think it's more of a joke. Yeah, Crota should just be a dungeon, but do people really want that? Think about it. A, it'll be taking away possibilities of other dungeons, and B, Crota will probably be less fun as a dungeon than a raid. Just look at how well they did with the Vault of Glass. They actually did an excellent job of bringing it back, making it interesting, adding a few new things.
Right. Because
I'm sure they would do the same with that with Crota anyway, adding champions, making the difficulty up to par.
Not a dungeon.
Yeah, exactly. But if you add all that and keep it a dungeon, like all of Crota's mechanics plus champions for a 3-man activity.
I mean, the bridge encounter, they don't want that cheesed people flying across with swords, so they would have to drastically change it again, because as of at the end, it required 5 people, unless you found a way to go off map. So they would have to
Superman
change that. I know, right?
Just like we did in the Shattered Realm, or rather, I did.
Even it would require 2 people, I think. You had to get the plates on the other sides. Yeah. I don't know.
That, I don't know. I feel like if they did bring back Crota, I don't think you'd be able to cheese bridge anymore, because they've really gotten better about their physics barriers.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that would be a possibility, because if they really don't want you to cheese it, they'll add a physics barrier.
Yeah. It's kind of sad that they added the physics barrier not that far behind Atheon's throne, like where you get the chest.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of fun running back there and just looking off into the caves in the distance, and you can't even really go to the very end. It's like, turn back.
Speaking of physics barriers, Fallen Walkers can still not be heroic because of weird physics barriers around the Scourge cannons, where you can't deposit the arc things.
Mm-hmm.
And they will send you flying, my god.
Yeah, I saw that, and people were bouncing all around. I was bouncing all around. Have you done that public event yet, Sen? You know, the Fallen Walker with the scorch cannons that are in the little protective bubble? One of the old
The one we
Titan.
used to do all the time on Titan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't done it recently.
Where's that still at? I forget.
I know it's on Sunken Isles on EDZ.
Yeah, well, just try it, Sin. It's kind of fun.
It's also hilarious because it apparently the walker like glitches out, and like when he dies, he leaves like 24 freaking arc charges just laying there.
Yes.
That's why we ran into like a ton of arc charges.
Yeah, because you kill the walker and he just like spews them all out, and it's just like, what? So yeah, there's definitely something funky going on with that like public event.
Yeah, I posted a picture in Discord and I was confused, like, how does this even happen? But now that makes sense.
It's Fallen Walker babies. Dropped a bunch of babies.
EDZ is not old Russia. Come on, Tony.
Did you say Paul Walker babies?
Fallen Walker babies, yeah.
Oh wait,
Paul
Cosmodrome. Forgotten Shore, does that have a Walker public event?
I don't know.
Okay, I haven't been back to the EDZ very often. In case you couldn't.
But the Cosmodrome
says
has
yes,
one.
so, you know. Well, that is old Russia. Cosmodrome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But speaking of some things that have been fixed, I'm kind of impressed. But they fixed a bunch of things today, and then one big thing is not working as we were expecting. But
they didn't fix anything that really matters.
Well, they fixed the multi-blast barrier at the beginning, so that's good news.
Oh, they did? I didn't see that.
They did. Yeah,
okay.
That was in the notes.
Atheon's invisible barrier summoning.
Which is sad because we finally confirmed going to orbit and rejoining worked.
Yeah. But at least we don't even have to do that. And they also fixed, they took away the ether collection encounter in the astral alignment, but now they added it back because they fixed an issue where it would soft lock if you shot all the ether wisps. It would also soft lock if you were holding something and then you left the activity. That's where it was also locking people out. So they fixed that too.
And for anyone confused on the terminology soft lock, I don't know if it exists. I know I heard it a lot. Well, because I've been following speedrunning for years, and soft locking is essentially a game state where you cannot progress, but you can still move around freely, but you can't do anything.
Kind of like Gambit without enemy spawning.
Exactly. That's technically a soft lock. But these these events, like at least Gambit usually gets going eventually. But no, these events would just completely so it was funny seeing that terminology in the patch notes.
Yeah.
And a hard lock is when your game just entirely freezes.
Right.
It's unresponsive. You can't do nothing, which in modern times leads to a game crash. In ye olden days of cartridges, you'd have to get up and hit the reset button.
Before we talk about chat, they also fixed the issue where stasis crystals were dealing additional instances of damage against players.
Curious.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know what's going on here. They announced to us that, again, they kind of kept it. It's not like they have to tell us ahead of time, but it's just kind of funny. Like, crossplay came at the beginning of the season, surprise, instead later on. And now, not that far in, crossplay voice chat is enabled. Surprise.
But it's not working.
But surprise.
Surprise.
It's not working. The best anyone's gotten it to work, and tell me if you've seen different, but usually one side can hear the other, but not vice versa.
Yep. That's exactly best case scenario I've seen in the help forums. Even
on the same platform, Sin and I tried earlier, and I I was able to hear him. He wasn't able to hear me.
Yeah, voice chat is completely borked right now. Which, to be fair, I think we half expected that. Like a really rough period of crossplay voice chat.
Yeah, but I just don't know why they're trying to do this. If they should have just let people figure out other systems to do voice chat, and they could save some development.
To be fair, I think they potentially what I feel, because again, I don't work at Bungie, and if I did,
you would know.
Nerds, right? But I feel like they probably hit a point in development where internal testing was going a specific way, and they weren't seeing any changes. So it may not have been 100% ready, but the only way to really fine tune it is ship it out into the wild.
Yeah. Well, it's also a little early to say. One report from Tony said it sounded exactly as bad as it did before. When I was hearing Sin,
awesome.
It definitely was way worse than Discord, PlayStation. I don't remember. I hadn't been in it for so long. I can't honestly say it sounded as bad as I remembered. But then again, I wouldn't really remember it. It's been so long. And so, nonetheless, it's just a non-option right now for the most part, which is kind of too bad because it would have made some things easier temporarily.
Exactly.
For joining.
Because just swapping into in-game chat, that way you have game audio. You would have to turn down game audio, 100%, because the one thing I do remember Destiny not doing well is balancing if you're using all in-game assets.
Yeah, so yet another thing to worry about.
Yeah.
But one thing I do want to mention, and I'm going to be adding a couple updates. One thing that Warcry got back to me on yet another headset as an option, but I kind of wanted to start putting together a list of different options. We know that PC players can join a PlayStation party chat and an Xbox chat. PlayStation to Xbox can't. Discord's really the only option if you only have one system. And then, of course, Discord. But then, of course, Discord on PlayStation is the worst possible option because until they integrate it, you have to just find your own way to mix game audio and Discord audio. But we're finding more and more options. And I'm starting to compile a document from pretty inexpensive options, especially if you have a controller that has an unpluggable input line. Now, not everyone does, but there's some splitter options. There's some more expensive controller options that can do Bluetooth and splitter. But for people that are interested in looking into these options, if you don't want to have to deal with weird setups like an earbud in one ear and a headset in the other ear, or things like that, there are options. So just look in the announcements channel. I'm going to try to keep it updated. It's called options, different options to do voice chat on different systems. I'm going to come up with a better name than that.
Personally, I'd probably just call it options. Deal with it.
Deal with it. All right.
Discord. That is all.
I'll say it I made this point in Discord, but it's kind of funny. The one guy that keeps promoting Discord because noise suppression filters and background noise suppression and this that coming from the guy that has the most background noise when on PlayStation Party Trap. Just saying.
I know that guy.
Just saying.
But PlayStation doesn't have the noise filters.
So you're saying it would be even worse?
If
I don't know.
you just use
about the same on any system.
Yeah, because if if you stop trying to be the fancy podcaster guy and use your fancy microphone that's going to pick up everything from 3 miles down the road.
That is the main issue. Yep.
I'll
put it
what
this
I
way.
like.
I'll put it this way.
I have a fancy podcasting mic, and you don't see here me hooking it into the PS4 and picking up my neighbor's 3 houses down.
3 doors down. We'll put them next to Nickelback.
No, it's not. It's not even so much I don't know how well that noise gating works because you'd have to set it the perfect level where it's cutting out your background noise, which is almost as loud as you, but not cut you out. But
well, I mean, it only picks up. Like there's sometimes like I'll be wrestling around on the desk, and then now the keyboard, like when I type on the keyboard, that you can hear because of the mechanical keys.
Okay, but my point is, like, we still hear a lot of noise. I think the better feature is Discord does definitely have better quality. First time I heard Muffin on Discord versus PlayStation Party, I'm like, oh, you sound different. It was definitely higher quality. Not that PlayStation's bad. So there's so many levels. Like PlayStation's like 9-day difference over in-game audio, right? And then,
it is absolute.
What you trying to say about Muffin's voice?
And then you got Discord. And then I always joke, like, people in Xbox party chats, they're always the ones with like their TV on in the background and people yelling, "Hey, someone do your laundry," and smoke detector beeps going off. And that's always like that's an Xbox party for you.
Oh, that's crazy.
So we'll see if that gets fixed soon. I mean, I was pretty impressed how quickly they fixed some of these other issues, like the door being blocked in Vaulted Glass at the beginning.
Oh, I didn't just nope. It was me.
Wasn't you?
Oh my god. Okay, the sidearm feels
amazing.
Oh, okay. This sidearm feels amazing.
So now it's Dez's live update. Peace bond.
Yeah.
Live update.
I just hit the peace bond part of the quest, and I might have a new favorite primary sidearm.
It's nice.
It feels pretty good.
All right, how about these weekly quests so far? I know it's not going to be like. I mean, there's really only 3, and there may be like legendary versions if you look at the triumphs, but so it's not going to last like for 12 weeks. But it's been really fun going in this second week again into the Shattered Realm. I keep wanting to say Shattered Realm. I don't know why.
Well, because that's the dungeon.
Yeah, but a whole new area. This one was the Scorn and Tangled Shore quote realm.
Yeah, and I love the fact that all they really did was just change some environmental set pieces, and it just completely feels like the Tangled Shore.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a pretty well done job, I feel.
Once again,
with the fairly minimal changes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. You're right. I shouldn't pass through that too quickly because.
No, you're good.
It's these areas are pretty big, and we've seen 2 of them so far. And so, for again being a seasonal update, pretty impressed how much we're getting when it comes down to it.
I was able to wander around in this one for an hour, and I still missed 2 mysteries.
Yes, I was going to say I feel like I did better on my own last week finding things than this week. I kept looking around. Like, okay, finally we're doing a guide. I was in there. Was it right? Me, Sin, Muffin. I think we went in.
Yep. Yeah.
To get the rest of them
yesterday,
and some of them we probably wouldn't have ever found. Like you have to like go off a cliff around to the right and land on another small cliff, and you can't really see that area from anywhere else. So really, moral of the story is, if you really want to explore every nook and cranny, you got to die a lot because you just got to do blind jumps off of cliffs and around corners and crap to find things.
And you can use your Titan Super to explore areas that you shouldn't get to.
Yes, Sin likes telling everyone that. I'm like, Sin, I'm not trying to go for the ones that we aren't supposed to get this week. I'm only trying to go for the ones we are supposed to get this week. Because we don't have the 3rd unlock yet. But Sin's over here.
It was exciting.
Look what I got, guys. There's some extra ones over here.
There's 2 chest ends. Send it anchor. Let's go.
But
Change
then
your
one
super.
of them we ended up finding anyways. That you could just do it with. Was it Safe Pass? What's the second one that opened this week?
Oh yes, it's by the
True Sight. Yeah,
by the first anchor. Yeah, we missed it originally.
So True Sight gives you the abilities like what we've seen in the Dreaming City for those
tinctures.
Yeah,
They give you
had to have platforms. And I love the boss because, especially the second time I ran it, Sin was with me. We get to the top. Sin's just standing right in the middle. I'm like, I'm just going to watch. And sure enough, the tank landed right on him.
I didn't know what was
Guardian
coming,
down.
honestly. I really didn't know it was coming. Pause. And
okay, but tank or not, when you start an encounter, never be in the middle of an arena. There's going to be some kind of boss that shows up.
It wasn't a Grandmaster. It didn't matter.
Anyways, the tank drops on Sin, Guardian down. I was laughing so hard. The little things.
No, it was fun though. I mean, it's Shattered Realm is definitely a nice space to explore, and it's definitely a plus for the season.
Yeah, and then the other little weekly fetch quest, which is going to give us that other exotic. Even though there's not much to it, you just go to the Dreaming City and pick up some of those. What are they called? Compass skews, Atlas skews.
Yes.
Something skew.
No. The Atlas skews are part of the Ager's Scepter quest.
Yeah.
Something anchor.
Anyways,
I think they're called skews. They are called skews for that.
Atlas skews? Anchor skews? I don't know. But we'll look that up while we're talking. But the point I was going to make is I like little fetch quests like that. I know it could be boring to some people, but anything that gets me to go back to an area and re-explore some nook and cranny that I haven't been to in a while of a patrol area, I'm all for that. It's good to have quests like that every once in a while.
Atlas skews 100%.
Okay.
So I thought you were talking about the seasonal thing and not the Ager Scepter quest.
No, I was actually talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
You're on the Dreaming City that's for the exotic weapon. I didn't remember the name, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is why I don't play games and podcasts at the same time normally. Sometimes I lose track of things.
Live update while you're playing. I don't know if I said this earlier, but I did finish my my catalyst for the sidearm, Traveler's Chosen, and I did finish all of the seasonal challenges. Told you I was going to get it done in the middle of the podcast. I did complete them. Now I'm going to go grind out the Iron Banner.
Now you're going to go and cry.
I've got nothing until Tuesday.
Nothing at all.
Oh.
You can't even raid. You have nothing to do.
Speaking of raid, I'm assuming the emblem you can still get, right? The Sherpa emblem for Vaulted Glass, or do they get rid of that?
I don't see why not. No, I don't think that was just a season.
Well, if that's the case, I need 3 more Sherpa runs. So if you have not run Vaulted Glass yet, let me know. I will schedule the raids for you. 3 separate raids. Or we can put all 3 in one. I don't care. Because I think it counts that way. But I want to get the 10 Sherpa clears.
Be a Sherpa daddy then.
Well, surprisingly enough, Last Wish. I don't raid nearly as much as you, Kingsley, or you Des this season. But my Last Wish, 24 clears, 22 Sherpas. I've raided with somebody new almost every single time doing it.
Yeah. Shout out to Kitty. We did it's been quite a while. She came out of mini retirement to do a Last Wish raid. Kitty fails.
Nice.
That was always loads of fun.
Yes, and we made music.
We did. We actually did pretty well for getting through it quickly until at the very end. I should have pushed it more, but I'm like, you can get it done with all swords, but often you just need one person to buff with or debuff with tractor cannon. I'm like, we should try it if you want to try it all swords first for a little bit. And then there were so many times where we just got close that we wanted to keep trying it over and over. I'm like, let's just try the tractor cannon. Even then I had to talk in like 2 times before. And then we did it, and the first time we got it. What did we spend? About an hour there, Sin? Even though the whole rest of the raid went quick?
Yeah, the rest of the raid did go quick. That did take the longest. I mean, a few of us were doing decent numbers, and then we got it where we were doing pretty consistent, decent numbers, but then it would be like one person wasn't getting consistent, or then another person wasn't getting consistent. Then finally we tried it. I think we did it the first run with the debuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Tractor Cannon's definitely a win there. It was fun. It was good times.
And then first run on Queen's Walk, we got it done right after that. We didn't have to do that multiple times.
That, which is surprising. That's where most people struggle, I would imagine.
Yeah, potentially.
I mean, we did struggle a little bit. We didn't get a full two cycle run for a couple people. So we still managed to get it done even with that.
All right. This week's TWAB, there's not really anything too exciting unless if either you want to mention anything, feel free. But the one thing that I wanted to mention, because they even say they're going to have a couple of short TWABs now, since they've had so many meaty TWABs. They're going with that joke still. But one thing that really appealed to me, and I didn't get a chance to watch it all, but again, if you're a music nerd at all, enjoy orchestral music, there is a video that Dr. Lupo did with playing Deep Stone Crypt, most specifically the Deep Stone Lullaby area, and they have live orchestra performing the music while he is going through the Deep Stone Crypt. Pretty cool. I think my wife will love this too, her being a musician. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, I love when they arrange stuff like that. I've actually seen a couple, speaking of speedrunning events, a couple, or there's one for sure. I think somebody was running the Super Nintendo Ghosts and Goblins game with someone on piano doing the game soundtrack as they were progressing through the game. It's really cool stuff to see that.
Yeah, you know, they've had these orchestras perform over the years, Pops concerts, where you're getting them to do like Zelda music, Super Mario, Final Fantasy, different things, but I've never heard of one considering Destiny music yet, and I hope we're getting closer to that being a consideration, because I'd be all in on that.
For sure.
All right, anything else in the 12 anyone wants to bring up?
No, like you said, it was definitely later this week. They just recapped the patch notes from earlier in the day, but other than that, the usual stuff, the movies.
Oh, and how are y'all thoughts on how the season's progressing so far? You know, we have no roadmap. Things seem to be coming out just weekly as is. We didn't even officially know Iron Banner until the Friday before, because again, no roadmap. Spoiler, I mean, I usually like roadmaps and everything like that, but for this season, it's really working for me. I really like it. Do you have any thoughts on it?
A nice change of pace. You don't know what's coming. You just kind of take it as the season unfolds.
I mean, yeah, I guess it gets us to come back each week, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Find out what's going on.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else either of you want to bring up before we start bringing this week to a close?
I will say I'm starting to really super like Savathun. Like, her voice actors and everything is just ticking all the right boxes for how we know her to be. Like, sufficiently creeping me out every time we talk.
It is really good. A nice enough voice, but still we can tell that there's stuff behind it.
Yeah, and the effects, like the subtle double layering of her voice at times is just super good. Oh, like they're doing the fantastic job for such a it threw me for a loop the first time I realized. It's like, wait, is that Savathun? But the more I hear it and the more she delivers her lines, it's like, yeah, this is like worth the 6-year wait since we've known about her.
Yeah. I know. And to have a reveal that's not a full reveal. I mean, I guess we see what she looks like, because of the witch queen.
Witch
Cream.
Jeez. But they show us what we assume is her main form, because we're seeing the pictures for that. But it's really cool how it's been always such big buildup, and this season, if we're following the timeline of being our character in the game, we still don't have a full understanding. We just see her in a cocoon frozen.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because again, somehow she gets the light, right? I can't wait to see how.
Yeah.
Because there haven't been that many cases in the lore of successfully a living creature getting the light. In fact, there's only one case in the lore of that even happening, and that's Shin Malver, who never died. He was a child when his ghost bonded to him, which was someone else's ghost anyway. So explain that one. So it's going to be interesting to see how these manufactured ghosts, what happened. Is she somehow dying and being... But that implicates the Traveler is choosing her? So it's really confusing, what these implications could be.
Yeah. Well,
because who knows?
Let's hope the amazing storyline goes for... It seems like it'll go for at least 6 to 7 weeks, but let's hope things are just exciting for most of the season.
Speaking of Aegir Scepter, using environmental clues, we have at least 2 more weeks before we get that. Because there are 2 more pods.
That's right.
So...
in the conjunction junction, I like to call that area.
Wow.
I was trying to explain it to Muffin, and I'm like, it's in the air. It's in this area, and you deposit the things, and then you have a really, really long story from the crow.
No, you have a long story from Uldren.
Yeah, sorry.
But no, it's really interesting. It's another great point in the writing that I'm glad you mentioned, because again, the interactions between Mara and Crow is just as delightfully twisted and confusing as I'd hoped it would be.
Do I know you?
Right. Oh god, there's a voice line in this week's alignment, when you finish it, where Mara asks if Crow wants to stay or something, and it's ooh, is she legitimate? Because you hear her in the Aegir Scepter questline saying that he became a fool essentially, and foolish pursuits and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But apparently she still misses her brother. So they're finally giving her these little traces of humanity still. So it's very cool.
It is. Well, so far, I mean, it's only second week in the season, but so far things are working well. We're all kind of enjoying it. The crossplay has really helped because it makes the game seem even more lively with finding groups to play with. I mean, the raid bot's just been crazy now too.
Right.
A lot of things coming up.
I know there's so much stuff in the raid bot. It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, there's raids going on right now, I believe. I mean, not that that's never happened before, but a lot of times it's we need the people. When's Des, Kingsley, and Sin available also? But no, it's there's raids going on all the time. And of course, it's Iron Banner this week too, so Iron Banner matchups and yeah.
It's fantastical, like seeing this activity pop off.
Well, with
Of course,
that,
I guess it isn't too
Oh, go ahead.
surprising. No,
Yeah.
I was about to say it isn't too surprising because
It's
I
not
mean
too
it is the
surprising.
start of the season.
It is
Um,
that plus the
so-
crossplay. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
Once
helps.
things die down, potentially we could start seeing. I'm kind of hoping to see like some mixture and melding with crossplay, like of the normal groups, like the cross commingling essentially.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Well, with that, I guess we might as well log off and get to bed or play the game more. So,
I'm definitely playing the game right now.
yes, you are.
Trying to finish this Iron Banner. That's one thing I haven't done. Is it's an old throwback Triumph where you have to complete all 3 character Iron Banner bounties in 1 week.
Mm.
Oh, yes. I remember hearing about that one.
I haven't done it. I don't know if I'll get through it this week. We'll see.
Oh, you could.
Just got to keep playing.
Yeah.
Just keep
Hit
swimming.
it hard.
Swimming.
All right, everyone. Well, Des, what's new? Where can people find you?
You can of course find me in the home of the Vestas Index, which is about halfway updated. I started it. Was going to finish it today. Then started playing the game. So,
Yay!
So yeah, but that's definitely like on the path to being finished. I am roughly halfway through all the weapons, so it hopefully won't take me too much longer before that's a thing. And of course, yeah, you can find me in the Discord and places, just
play.
places, just hanging out, having a good old time.
Mm-hmm.
Sin?
Oh, man, they can find me on Twitter at sin_media or Iron Banner, which I'm currently doing. KingsleyMac.
Yes. You can find me. I mostly have my Destiny known issues spreadsheet up to date. I have a few things I need to add and remove. And then trying to keep the crossplay headset options thing up to date. But other than that, I'm mostly playing also. I don't do too much on Twitter, but all my Destiny and Twitch things are KingsleyMac, but Twitter is MC Kingsley. But our show is very easy to find. Just remember 2 simple things. You can either find us on Twitter as The Guardian Hub, or you can go to our website where you can find Discord links, how to join the clan, and all about our podcast. And our website is theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Yay.
I need a clip right after that. If you've ever watched Family Guy,
You do.
and we
need like a chair.
Well, no, like he did those things. You know what really grinds my gears? And Lois is like, he said it. Well, I should insert that right after there.
We got to make sure it's one that's not too annoying. Week after week after. Oh man, we already stopped the great ending just like that. But best hub on the net. Yes, thank you, Sin. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in again this week. We really appreciate everyone that's in the live chat. We really appreciate everyone who listens to this through your podcast app. And
of choice.
Yes, of choice. We don't care where you listen. Just as long as you're listening. We love you all. Please leave us a review if you want. And thanks for tuning in. And we will see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye. Did I just finish this Iron Banner quest?